Hey guys, King of Charmass here, and today I will be your judge, jury, and your analyst. And today I will be shoutcasting this sweet 9-win streak, a 9-0, with the most powerful team in the Great League Remix Part 2. As I always say, please consider donating at pvpoke.com. As you see here, right here, all you have to do is click on this mighty tab if you can contribute. Don't contribute if you can't, but if you can, please do. This wonderful website allows me to do everything I do for content and will possibly help you out in the future as it does me. As you see here, for the top performers for Great League Remix, we get the most powerful team is a super meta team. Altaria, Registeel, and Vigoroth. Vigoroth is your safe switch, Altaria's lead, and Registeel is your closer. Registeel is a fantastic and incredibly powerful closer. Vigoroth is a very powerful safe switch, and Altaria is a monster lead, and this team is like really tanky, so you should do really well with it, at least hopefully. So, as you see, really bulky, and then it does a lot of consistent damage, good coverage, good safety. I'm not going to go over it too much. If you want to see the last one where I showcase this one, then it should give you a lot of information on the team. Otherwise, the battles you're about to see will showcase pretty much everything else. So you'll do, like, this should showcase a lot. The reason why this team is so good is not only statistically is very powerful, however, if you look at your weaknesses right here, the core breaker for this entire team, you won't see a lot of Mantine, Poliwrath, or Hitmonchan. I have seen them before, but you're not going to likely see them in this meta. Well, yeah. They're not super common, so you're pretty much avoid it. As you see here, though, Altaria, Registeel, and Vigoroth have great combinations against a lot of top meta picks. Altaria covers the weaknesses of Registeel and Vigoroth very, very well. And this team has a pretty semi-low threat score. Again, this is a 9-0. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. This will show you what to do if you do lose the lead. And they're, like I said, they're really sweaty battles. And I hope you guys enjoyed the shoutcast. Let's get started. Alright, again, what I'm going to show you is the fifth. I'll show you the 5-0 for the fifth battle for the 5-0, and then I'll show you the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So, as you see here, the 5th, this is featuring the #1 team, or the top team for Great League Remix Part 2. I still think it's really good outside of if you see a fighter in the back, but as you see here, we get Deoxys into Altaria. Now, this is a good matchup for us, except when they switch into a Charmer, and Golden Chicken doesn't want to eat a Charm, so I switch out into Registeel right away. I could probably, like, Now, here's what I hate about this matchup. You're going to see me play this in a really weird way. I'm going to fire the Flash Cannon, but what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to fire 2 Flash Cannons. Instead, I'm going to gather a little bit of energy, as you see here. Because, you know, what's going to happen is that DD is going to come back in and farm me. So, as you see, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually let this Wigglytuff beat the unholy hell out of my Registeel. Again, it would be pretty good to, like, let my opponent, like, shoot another one, and then not let my opponent fire a player if, as you see here, but I don't want that DD to have loaded energy. So all I'm going to do is just farm down. As you see, I just literally lock on down. You could do this the other way around. You could go to or fire the Flash Cannon right away, and then put your opponent in a bad spot, but DD can eat a Flash Cannon, and it can farm you down, so just keep that in mind. You can do it the other way around. It's not really wrong. I just like the fact that this DD isn't going to get a lot of energy here. And as you see, unfortunately, I don't get to another Flash Cannon. Again, you could play it the other way around, fire Flash Cannon right away, and then fire one on this. Either way, we're still pretty comfy here. Even if they do have a Rock Slide, I still have 2 shields, so, and a whole bird. So I'm going to let them fire, and it's a Psycho Boost. So this kind of sucks, because if you block a Psycho Boost, it's less. The thing about blocking a Psycho Boost is that you're kind of playing to their hands because you want to block a Rock Slide. You don't want to block a Psycho Boost. You can tank a Psycho Boost pretty comfortably. I will get this Sky Attack off. My opponent is prompted to shield. And as you see, I already predicted, but my opponent is running Deoxys Defense Double Charm. Yay. That's with enthusiasm. So what we're going to do here is, what I should be able to do here is get to 2 Body Slams. If this plays out right and I don't lag, I should be able to get double Body Slam. And then what should happen is that I should be able to get a move off on, yeah, this kind of sucks that this Charm came through, and I'm not sure why, because I fired on the right interval. So, as you see, I mean, I'm not surprised because the game's, like, really broke right now. So, as you see, I get 2 Body Slams off back-to-back with them getting another Charm in, but that Charm should have registered anyways. Because that Charm registered, what's going to happen is that essentially my opponent, like, this, I'm going to be able to, 1, 2, 3, my opponent fires, but because they got that Charm in, they got to a Weather Ball. This is what kind of sucks. That Charm should have went through, but because it did, now I have to eat a Charm. And this kind of sucks because my win condition now is to be able to get to a Sky Attack. Remember I was talking about that Psycho Boost doesn't hurt that bad? This is a Psycho Boost for sure. But the problem is here is, can my bird live it? My bird live it. Please live. Please live. Please live. And then it does. I managed to get it with 1 HP to Dream only because I do have a good IV Altaria. Mine is rank 150, so it is pretty high ranked. So it was 1 HP in Altaria, and thanks to this Altaria being so thick, I managed to get a 5-0. It was pretty cool. That match was super sweaty. Again, you could play the Registeel versus the Wiggly matchup different. You could fire the... You could go a little over energy or just fire it right away so that they don't get a play rough on you. After that, what you can do is just do heavy damage to the Deoxys defense. So you could play it the other way around. As you see, the way I played it worked out, but again, it's just really up to you. It would have worked better the other way around because my opponent did have double charm, so having a full Altaria and a full Vigoroth might have done better than back row. Who never knows, but either way it worked out. But I had multiple win cons anyways. But as you see here, here's the 5-0. It's really sweaty. Like, this is a very powerful team. I like it a lot, but again, if you get a fighter in the back, it kind of sucks. But I do have a specific way. If you lose the lead and you have to have a fighter thrown into you, I think you'll see that on this shoutcast. I think. Not entirely sure, but in this set, I did lose the lead and have a Medicham thrown into me. What the play is, you farm down the Medicham with Altaria, and hopefully with Sky Attack energy, and you could take on the back row with that and Registeel. As you see here, I was like, this was a sweet 5-0, especially taking out double charm to get here. It's so satisfying. Match number 6 is against the Legend, so, I mean, these battles are usually sweaty, but if it's a Legend, it's extra sweaty, and they have a Shiny Haunter. So, it's Shiny Haunter versus Shiny Altaria. Shinies do more damage, but as you see here, my opponent fires really early. I'm like, this is a Shadow Punch for sure. So, there's no real wrong way to play this. It's better to get the chip damage right away, especially if you're planning to switch out. As you see, my opponent does switch out. They switch into a Sableye. Purified Sableye is a monster against my back row, so I'm kind of iffy here. I will fire the Sky Attack off of, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do enough I'm going to go for another one. I want to break my opponent's second shield here, and then what I want to do is get it down to where I can Flash Cannon down with my Registeel. So this is a really rough match. I don't like the Sableye matchup though, honestly, just because Sableye is such a beast. It only takes 6 Shadow Claws to get to a Foul Play, and Foul Play hits really hard, so it's still not going to be comfortable. As you see here, Burb is the word, and it's able to take, we're going to be able to farm down because they let that one through, so I'm like, oh, this is really great. I'm not sure why they let it through, but you know, it works out. So we take switch, or rather we did it, yeah, we take out whatever switched into us, technically, and then we get the Haunter. Here's what's going to suck. This Haunter is going to get the farmers down, however, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in Vigoroth. So I'm going to throw in Vigoroth, and I'm going to hope with shield advantage, I can take out whatever's in the back with Registeel. Registeel is very powerful in closing scenarios, so I'm hoping with Registeel and some extra energy with this Vigoroth, we can take out whatever's in the back. As you see here, I'm going to Body Slam here, going to take out this Haunter. I could have got a little more energy, but I don't want them to get to another Sludge Bomb. And I want to just be able to do extra counter damage of whatever's in the back. And it happens to be an Obstagoon. I switch out immediately just because my plan here is to basically, I should be able to just get to 2 Focus Blasts, and that's GG's. I'm going to eat the first move. This is very likely a Night Slash just because you want to get the boost first because that's my opponent's win condition. Get the boost and then straight cross drop. As you see here, they don't get the boost. I'm going to fire straight Focus Blast. I should be able to get to 2 because I still have a shield. And then that's pretty much GG's. Or what I can do if I feel like I can't get there is Flash Cannon, and I should be able to just counter down. As you see, my opponent just lets it through because that's pretty much game over. I should be able to get to another Focus Blast, and that should be GG's. As you see here, 9-1, so this is game number 6. So right now we're on a 6-0, which is pretty sweet. But, again, like against Obstagoon, you should, if you're even energy scenario, you should win the 1 shield. I think you lose the 2 shield straight cross drop. I think that's what happens. But 1 shield, you're pretty comfortable. We get our next opponent. We get our shiny, Altaria into a Ninetales. This is terrible, so we're going to switch out. We're going to switch out to Vigoroth. Vigoroth is our safe switch, and this happens to be a Charmtails. So, remember when I told you about a fighter getting switched into you? This happens a lot. So, this is Alola Ninetales. They switch into their Medicham, and it happens to be shiny. But the good thing is so when this happens, you should be able to get 2 body slams off before they go down, even if they do fire a move, as you see here. So it's not all hope is lost. So we have a Medicham, we have an A9. What's in the back? As you see, this is a power-up punch, so they're gonna chip me down. I'm going to fire this second body slam. You want as much chip damage as you can so that you can Dragon Breath down with Altaria. Or you can Sky Attack it, whichever one's up to you. As you see here, I am able to get the second one off, and then we just get farmed down, and then we send in the burb, and then we farm. I'm going to let this one through. The reason why is because I want Registeel with 2 shields. It does really well against that A9, so hopefully they have something that I can beat with a Registeel with 2 shields. Hopefully. As you see here, we're going to get the whole farm down. It kind of sucks. Ice Punch does heavy damage, as you see here, but we get a Bastiodon, so here's what's going to be really fun. So, fun fact, Bastiodon and A9, even with 2 shields, can lose to a Registeel. Just because Registeel is a beast, and remember I told you in the closing scenario it does really well? Well, we should be able to win this one, because all it's going to take is 1 Focus Blast and some change, or 1 Flash Cannon on that Alolan Ninetales, because Steel is double effective against Ice and Fairy. I'm going to block both of my Flamethrowers. What I can do here is I basically have a shield, and I also have a sack, so I still can sacrifice a Alolan... I mean, not Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is still in the back row, but I still have Altaria for a sack. So, Registeel, the giant trash can, the mighty trash can, is going to carry us. As you see here, Focus Blast does go through, and we farm down. My opponent, I think what they're trying to bank here is that Charm A9 with a shield can charm down a whole Registeel before it goes down, which is not true. Again, I still have a sack, so it doesn't really matter. This Flash Cannon should go off, and either one of my opponent's going to let it through, or they're just going to quit out, because this is pretty much game over. Or they're just going to let the Flash Cannon go through, and then that's pretty much GG's. As you see here, my opponent does quit out because it is game. As you see, Registeel is a beast in the closer. It can take out a Registeel... It can take out an A9 and a whole Bastiodon. The tap-tap core of destruction in the back. Well, Charm and Bastiodon is pretty much like the core of destruction. Even Shadow Razor Leaf, but I like to see Shadow Razor Leafers in the lead like Shadow Victory Ball because you have Altaria in front. And that's GG's. This is match number 8, I believe. As you see here, we lost the lead, but managed to come back because Registeel was able to beat their entire back row, which is amazing. This is not amazing. We lose the lead again. Registeel... Well, this isn't a terrible matchup, actually, but not in this scenario. Registeel does win the 2 shield very comfortably, even though it's nerfed. We're going to switch into Vigoroth. I will shield the Focus Blast. Make sure you shield your Focus Blast, because this is going to put you near death. Even if, like, it's going to put you, like, near death. You don't want to eat it. And we get a Beedrill. So, this is very interesting, because Beedrill actually does it, like, with X-Scissor, it could do a decent amount of damage, but we have a lot of energy here, so what we should be able to do is just straight Body Slam and take up Switch. Because I have so much energy, I should be very, we're vibing. We're pretty comfortable right now. Vigoroth with an energy lead is a beast, and as you see here, we should be able to just farm down this... We should be able to farm down this Beedrill, and even if we eat a move, well, again, we should still just be able to farm down. So they're going to fire an X-Scissor or a Drill Run, and as you see here, it's a Drill Run. We farm down, and then we can throw the Bulldoze or whatever in the back, depending on what comes in. So we're down a shield, but we win back Switch, so this is perfect. Well, not really that perfect, pretty good, but the problem is we don't want Altaria on Registeel, and we do have our own Registeel in the back, but it's dangerous. As you see here, I go for a really ballsy move. My opponent doesn't want to eat a Bulldoze, so I'm banking that they will shield this Body Slap, and they do. So, again, that was very ballsy, and because that went off, I'm able to get another Body Slam off this Pelipper in the back, which is really great. The fact that your opponent shields a Body Slam makes you feel good, but it makes them want to kill you. So, now we just have to get this Pelipper on Altaria, and we have a whole Registeel, and we still have Vigoroth as a sack, or we can use it for chip damage or counter. So, this is pretty much GG's. Even if I eat a Hurricane here, that's perfectly fine. I should be able to Dragon Breath down, and then I should still have, like, plenty of HP left to where Lock-Ons from Registeel don't really do much to my freaking Altaria here. This is where it's comfortable. When their Registeel is almost dead, and you can literally Sky Attack and Dragon Breath down. Because Dragon Breath does so much damage, even though it's resisted, we have a ton of chip on this poor Registeel. So poor Trash Cat is just going to have to eat all these charge moves, and then it's pretty much GG's. I should be able to get Sky Attack here, and then I'm going to send in my Registeel, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Flash Cannon, and that should be game. And that's GG's. Flash Cannon goes through. They have to shield this one or else take heavy damage, or it doesn't really matter either way. As you see here, my opponent just quits out because it's pretty much game over. They either die by getting Bragging Breath down, and they didn't even need to see my back row. Which is Registeel, so it still win anyways. Or I could send in Vigoroth and just punch down with the HP it has left, because Lock-On only does 1 damage. As you see, that was a very sweet 8-0. We lost the lead twice, but this team is very, very powerful. Again, if you lose the lead, just say switch into Vigoroth. That's 8-0. And now, for the 9th battle, we have Altaria into a Medicham. So this is a positive lead for us. However, okay, so here's a secret. You will lose the 2 shield. Medicham XL actually beats Altaria in the 2 shield if it goes straight Ice Punch. It can go straight Ice Punch, and if, yeah, it can go straight Ice Punch. So it can go straight Ice Punch, and if they get a move through, then you'll lose the 2 shield outright. Unless you get like 2 moves through or they lose some turns. My opponent makes a sweet switch into a Registeel. You could tell they played a lot because you could tell they played that matchup a lot. So that, yeah, it sucks. Anyways, as you see here, this is why you shield your Vigoroth. Here's what happens. Focus Blast goes through. Look at it, almost dead. I definitely should have shielded that. That was a terrible move on my part. What the heck was I thinking, guys? Anyways, we're already in a rough spot here. But anyways, we're gonna get this Bulldoze off. This should pop the shield for my opponent, but it's better to go for the big balls move anyways, just because there's no way Vigoroth's gonna live. That's why you shield your Vigoroth! Make sure you shield your Vigoroth. So now I'm behind because I tried to be extra spicy. I send in my own Registeel here. I have shield advantage. That's the good part. The bad part is that I still have to contend with that Medicham in the back, and I still have something else to deal with. So as you see here, I will shield. Do not eat a Focus Blast. It will suck a lot. They send in their Medicham, and I'm not going to shield the first move. This is definitely, I feel like this is an Ice Punch. That's why I don't shield. And it is. So this is great. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire Flash Cannon. Now here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to eat another move. Unless they have Power Up Punch, or if they have Dynamic Punch, then I'm pretty screwed. But Power Up Punch and Ice Punch, I can kind of tank another move. And I want this Medicham to blow their energy. So whether it's a Psychic, a Power Up Punch, or an Ice Punch, I want to see what the second move is. Because I know you have Ice Punch. What's the second move? And the second move is a Psychic. So this is Ice Punch, Psychic, Medicham. So what I'm going to do is now that they blew their energy, I will switch into my Altaria. And then I still have a shield. So what I should be able to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shield this Ice Punch. And then I'm going to try to farm. I'm going to overfarm just a little bit. And then now I have an Altaria against whatever's in the back. And a whole Registeel. So as you see, I get a little more. I'm counting these counters because it takes 6 to get to an Ice Punch. So I could have got a little more energy here, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to fire the Sky Attack, and then I have a Registeel versus something in the back. They send in their Registeel, so I'm sensing that whatever you have in the back does not like Altaria. I'm able to get the Sky Attack off. Hopefully what can happen here is the Sky Attack does enough chip damage to where I could just Dragon Breath down. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Sky Attack goes off, and then I'm going to try Dragon Breath down. My opponent switches into a Tropius. This is great! Because what I can do here is that I should be able to live an Aerial Ace, and that's pretty much game. Because what's going to happen here is that it's going to take 2 Aerial Aces to take out my Burb, and then I'm basically going to be able to, I should be able to Sky Attack here, and then I should be able to just farm down this Tropius from the back. So we should be okay. Even though we let our Vigoroth eat a full-on freaking Focus Blast. As you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. My opponent never gets to an Aerial Ace. I will immediately switch into my Registeel, which doesn't happen because they Registeel happens. And then I should be able to get to a Flash Cannon, and that's GG's. That's why I got a little more farm on that. That's why letting that Medicham die. So even though I misplayed here, I managed to come back with a W. I made a horrible misplay, but I came back from the W because I knew what my opponent's moves were, so I knew I could tank some moves to give me some to save my shield for my Altaria, and that's GG's. As you see here, this is a 9-0 because it goes from like if you take a look going back, 94, that should go to 9 wins, and unfortunately I do lose the 5th game. So as you see here, I believe I did get hard countered, so just my luck when you go for a 10-0. You get hard countered, so it doesn't really... There wasn't much I could do. I believe it was like a Charm, Jellicent, and something else that basically hard countered my whole team, so there is no way out. But as you see here, we got this sweet 9-0. I hope you guys enjoyed those battles. Those were really sweet and sweaty, and again, I hope you guys really like these battles, because dang, some of these were really sweaty. As you see, you can come back from losing the lead very comfortably, and this team actually really works well together. As you see, Registeel can actually take out an entire Charmer and a whole Bastiodon in the back, even though they have 2 shields, which is nuts. I didn't know that. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed these battles. Again, that was a really sweet 9 win streak with a 5. Oh yeah, that was a really sweet 9 win streak. That 5-0 was pretty sweaty. I only had footage for the 5th battle, but then as you see here, I think the other battles, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th battle were actually better to showcase. And I think those battles were very sweaty. Like, I lost a lead, like you saw before in that 5-0 set, but if you play it well, as you see, you can come back, even though you horribly misplay, like I did for the 9th match. I hope you guys enjoyed these battles. Again, this team still does really well, especially with these Roserades coming out. So a Roserade lead is getting really popular on this, and I don't know why, because I think Bastiodon is like better than a Roserade lead. But you can catch a lot of Roserade leads with this team, and also this team does beat the Grasshole team, which is Shadow Victory Bell, Deoxys Defense, and a Bastiodon in the back. This team practically just annihilates that team, so I hope you guys, like, if you like, this team is very safe, and I'm not as surprised at how it's #1. If you watched my video from before, the previous 5-0 from this, I did put this team on my suggested list before Great League Remix actually came out. So it was really cool to see a team that, like, to pretty much confirm my team building abilities. That's something really good, because I didn't break it in. Someone else did, but it's pretty cool to see a team that you, like, premeditated would be really good to be in the rankings. If you guys haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe. I hope this 9-0 really did impress you, and I hope it's worth a subscription, because these are really sweaty battles, and also these videos are really long to make. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, hope you guys are learning something from my videos, and I hope you guys are entertained. Are you not entertained? If not, I hope you have a great day from your Go Battle League sets regardless, and I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys on the next video.